synonyms. Stupid, arrogant, useless. We can keep going.
Yeah, sorry, blokes out there. But yeah, it'd be like, oh, that guy's a bloke.
And welcome back to another video. Today I'm in the beautiful area of Wellington, Florida, and it's home to the Winter Equestrian Festival as well as some very, very nice equestrian properties. I'm here to meet Chilean 5-star show jumper Gaby Reutter, who's offered me a tour of the barn to meet her horses and talk all things show jumping in the USA.
Hi, Gaby.
Hi, Esme. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Come on in so I can show you around the barn.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, it looks beautiful.
Okay, so welcome to Shalano Farms. This is owned by Andrew Ramsey, and here's where I have Lumiere Horses Inc., my operation, and where Chris Kapler Inc. is as well on the other side. So this area here is like my little office.
Oh, it's so cool. Very organized as well.
Yeah, we try to keep it clean and organized. And yeah, on this side, there are my horses.
Oh.
Here we have Juice.
Well, like orange juice.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, his name is Castle OJ, so OJ Juice,
that's
kind of
so
goes.
cool.
He's eating his dinner, so I'm not sure he's gonna be paying attention to us.
When I'm eating my dinner, that's all I'm focusing on as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And then here's Rocky.
Hello, you're also having your dinner.
Also having dinner.
Aww.
Very exciting. But yeah, and usually I'd have Lincoln there, but he's at the show because I'm jumping the 2-star this week.
Oh, good luck.
But yeah, thanks. These are my 3 Grand Prix horses that I do FEI with.
I love how they all have like little fans as well in their stables.
They all have a little fan, and then we also have a fly spray system.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, so fly spray just like comes out the ceiling?
Yeah, so you see that little like button thing up there?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's like 1 or 2 hours, like it'll spray like kind of mist fly spray on each stall. And then on the middle of the barn as well.
That's so fancy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so weird too. And then you're like with your horse, and then you're like, it tastes kind of strange. So I hope it's not toxic.
It should be fine if it's going on the horses and things.
Yeah.
I've been on an aeroplane where they've done that before.
Yeah.
They've like,
they spray stuff.
like, But no, that's interesting. Did not know that was a thing until today.
Okay, so this is my favorite part of the barn because it's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And it's these 2 cross ties with this archway and all these flowers.
Oh my gosh.
And I love it because it goes from like different colors and they like mesh together.
Oh my gosh, it does. Like there's the like peachy pink and then it goes like a purple pink.
Yeah, this is my favorite part.
That is,
I love it.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there are many like places in the UK that look like this.
Really?
No.
But yeah, no, I love this. And then there's 2 cross ties, so like that's where, horses get groomed and all of that stuff.
Nice.
But yeah.
Very cool. I think on my stables there might be like a little weed growing somewhere.
Like not even a flower.
Yep. I've made some notes in my notes
like a whole monologue planned for this. No.
Okay, we ready? Cool. Oh. Clap. Second clap just for luck, just in case. Okay.
Clap again.
I almost did.
Sorry, I really wanted to do it. Okay. No,
that's fine. You can do the clap if you
want.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Ready. Action.
Felt so powerful.
Yep. Okay. So Gaby, thank you so much for that barn tour. I thought we'd have a little sit down, a little bit of a chat, because this is a video I've been wanting to do for ages, or talk to someone for ages who has been riding in the US for a while. You've been here for about 10 years, you were saying earlier, that's correct. I know you're Chilean, but I thought we'd do a little chat. Someone wants to be in the video.
Normie wants to be in the video, guys.
Oh. I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat about the differences of riding in America versus in the UK. So I actually have a little quiz for you on my notes app. Some of them are going to be very easy.
Okay.
So I'm going to say what we call them in the UK, and then you can say what you call them over here. So the first one, actually, when I first started doing YouTube and social media, so many people in my comment section would be like, "You're calling it wrong. That's the wrong word," because you guys call it different. So the first is head collar.
Head what?
Head collar.
Head collar.
Yeah.
It's like the halter.
Yeah, the halter, yeah.
Head collar. That's so funny.
Is that weird?
Yeah, it's like I think it's for like a dog, but I guess you do the same thing.
I mean, it's the collar and it kind of goes on their head, so a little bit
I mean, I don't know what halter is. Like, where does it come from?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I guess it makes them halt if you kind of like, I don't know.
I didn't even think of that. That's actually brilliant.
To be fair, I've got some friends that do like farming and stuff,
Yeah.
and they would call like a halter if it's like on a cow. So,
Okay.
or like I would maybe call it a halter if it was like, you know, the rope ones.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a little bit different.
Well, in Chile,
Okay.
it's called a jaquema.
Oh, okay.
Which
Well,
I
we
have
can have
no idea what
we
that
can have a
means.
third version as well. We can have the Chilean version as well.
Jaquema.
Okay. Next up is jodhpurs.
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 Wait, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Is that like your boots? No, your breeches.
Your breeches. Yeah, your breeches.
Breeches. Isn't that such a weird word, breeches? I used to say breeches, and they were like, what is that? I was like, okay,
I
breeches.
think that's how you're maybe supposed to say it in the UK, breeches, but I just call them
Okay.
breeches because when I first started watching like equestrian YouTube,
Yeah.
that's what everyone called them. So I'd say jodhpurs are normally made of more of like a cottony material.
Yeah.
And I'd say breeches are made of more of like a technical.
Elastic?
Yeah.
Like more
So-
yoga pants in. Okay, well, if we want to say the Spanish, it's just pantalones de montar, which is literally translated into pants for riding.
Nice.
So nothing special there.
Okay, well, this one's going to be easy, but horse riding and horseback riding.
Okay.
So
I
we
mean,
just-
that's.
we just
I
don't
guess
say the
that's-
back in the middle. Or
Oh,
sometimes
you just say horse riding.
We don't
Yeah.
say horseback riding.
Yeah, because I guess where else would you ride them? Like on their
Yeah.
head? That makes no sense. So
True.
in Spanish, it's either like equitación, which is like the equivalent of equitation, but we use it as like you do equitación, which is like you do horse riding. You don't. I mean, I guess you could say montas a caballo, which is the same as like do you ride horses?
This one I want to double check with you because I definitely know in Australia
Okay.
they call it a float.
A float.
A float. Do you call it a float over here or do you call it a trailer?
What the hell is a float?
That's definitely an Australian thing. Come on, we're getting all the countries.
I was just thinking of like what like a floaty for the pool and like putting the horses in there. No, it's just a
It's a
trailer.
trailer.
Yeah,
Because
a trailer truck, but
I feel
trailer.
like in the UK, a lot of people do have trailers, but ours look very different to yours. Like yours are a lot bigger.
Oh,
I'd say
really?
UK trailers you can only really fit like maybe 2 horses in.
Yeah.
When we have a lot of like horse boxes or
Yeah.
like lorries, and a lot of
Lorries.
our horse boxes are made of like a van, like a
Yeah,
like,
like
like a
the little
tradesman's van.
Yeah,
kind of
like a
thing.
little van. Yeah.
And then they have them converted into having horses in. So that's like what a lot of people have, that or a trailer.
Yeah.
And then like the big eventers have like the big old.
Yeah.
What would you call it, a lorry or a truck?
I've
Or-
no like lorry. I know that's not a word
That's
from
not a
here.
word here, yeah.
Like I mean, maybe again, I am not from the States, so if people from the States come and hate on me, like I do not from here. ESL guys, all the way. So
So yeah, we're adding all the countries in. We've had Australia. Okay.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Okay, so obviously you guys have a lot of barns in
Yeah.
like America in general. When in the UK we don't have that many barns. Normally we would call it like a stables.
Yeah.
So instead of saying you go to the barn, you go to the stables. So also like, do you call them like? I'd say because there's stalls, stables, and barns.
right.
And I would call a stall if it was in a barn. But we have.
But if I don't know where you're going from with this.
I'm making this so complicated.
Wait, if the stall is not in a barn, where is it then?
I'll show you a picture of my stables because
They're not in the barn?
yeah, we have stalls that aren't in barns,
Where are they?
just outside.
What? Like a paddock?
Well, you can get field shelters, which are like.
What? My mind is like so confused. Okay, so like out in the paddock, you just have a little house for your horse.
So that's a field
Okay.
shelter. And
yeah.
then we have like. I have so many pictures of my horses, but I don't have any of my actual stables.
But yeah, I mean, I guess
Try and find.
honestly, I wish we would call it more like stables because that sounds more. I like that better than
It sounds
barn.
more horsey. Barn
Yeah.
could be like an animal barn.
Yeah, and I mean, people call it farms as well too. Which farm I immediately think pigs,
Yeah.
cows. Like I don't think horses, but people use that.
Okay, that's the best one I can find. So
Okay.
there's like a stable,
Yeah,
and it's like outside,
yeah.
but it's not in a barn. So there's like a stable there, and then it like goes around like a horseshoe.
Right, but I
shape.
feel like still like when you say a barn, it's like the whole area. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like the barn. Like this whole thing is the barn.
Yeah.
Like I mean, at least in my mind, that could be wrong. Or like I guess I don't know, maybe this whole thing is the farm and the actual structure is the barn?
I think people interchange it. I think people use both, to be honest, so.
Normie!
He really wants to be in the
He wants to be the center of attention.
All right, what else do I have on my notes app? Okay, this is something that I've noticed that a lot of American riders do, and that is hairnets. Do you ride with a hairnet a lot? Because over here in England, this might just be me, but I feel like most people would probably only wear a hairnet if they were competing or doing like dressage.
Or working at McDonald's.
True. But no,
Oh, this is Wilson.
Oh, hello, Wilson. Hello.
That's Kiara's boyfriend.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah, so I never wore a hairnet until I came to the US.
Really?
I had no idea what it was. We only had like those little ones that you're saying that were for dressage, like the buns.
Yeah.
So I came here and the first thing that like at Chris's place was like, where's your hairnet? I was like, my what? Like my net? Like we're going fishing? Like what is like? He was like, no, your hairnet. Your hair is all over the place. I was like, it is? You know, like what? It's tied. I don't know. So then I had to learn how to put on a hairnet, which is a whole different game.
Because one thing I've also noticed, especially like I've been lucky enough to go to like lots of different top horse shows like in Europe and America. And one thing I do notice is that a lot of the US riders also like, even if they have their hair in a hairnet, they have it like up in the helmet as well. So it's like you have no hair.
Yeah. Oh no. This is the problem.
Oh, no.
He wants to play and she doesn't want to play with him.
Oh, she's like, I want to be the star of the show.
She's like,
I
help.
wanna play.
Oh, what happened?
We'll have a little doggy interlude.
Yeah. This is Andrew, the owner of the farm.
Thank you very
Esme.
much for having me here.
Listen, come on, let's go somewhere else.
Bye, Wilson.
Bye, Wilson.
But also, the only other time that I wore like hairnets a lot was pony club. Most people would either have their hair in like a braid like this, or we call it a plait, and then have it in like a hairnet there, or in like a low bun. And even if I'm competing today and I have a hairnet on, I always have it in a low bun, just because I think it looks quite cute having like a little.
So again, I never put my hair inside my helmet until I came to this barn, and that's just the look here. You don't see like hair flying around. It's just like about like, you know, just it looks nicer. So one like. Again, I had never realized I had flyaways until I started wearing a hairnet, and now I can't not wear one because I'll get so annoyed that there are these little hairs that I feel, which I had no idea I even had. You know? But yeah, hairnets are just a thing here. I think they're more spreading out because I do think it looks nice that you don't have like messy and everything like all around. Or like that your hair's so long that it's just flinging around. I don't know. It's different looks. But yeah, in Europe, everybody has their hair out. And here, you don't see that at all.
Okay, we're now going to talk about the long shows that are here because recently I've been.
Wait, can I do one more before?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Jump in.
So, I just thought about this. So, what do you call it when you're like practicing, like jumping at home? Like, do you have a word for that when you're just practicing jumping?
Like if you're practicing like your schooling.
Okay, you have that too? I thought that was so weird here.
Really?
Yeah, because it was either like flat lesson or like schooling lesson. And I was like school? Like that makes no sense. Like why is that, how does that relate to jumping?
You're gonna find this next thing bonkers, okay? So we call, you know like an arena?
Yeah.
We sometimes, like the first thing I ever heard it be called was a sand school.
No way.
Yeah, a sand school. Because that's where you teach the horses, that's where you like train. So you're like.
That's so cute.
It is like a little horse school.
Yeah.
Like a little sand pit for horses.
Yeah. Because they are playing. I mean, they do like their jobs. So wait, that's so funny.
Because I remember one of my first riding lessons, and they were like, "Oh yeah, look at all the like big kids jumping in the school."
Yeah.
And I was like, looked, and I was like, "What school?"
Yeah.
Like, I was so confused, and they're like, "No, the sand school."
Yeah. For me, that was so weird. When Chris was like schooling, I was like, what the heck? I mean, didn't you bring a pen, a pencil? Like, what are we doing? Like, I didn't know.
Sit at their desks.
Yeah, and it was just like when you were like jumping.
One thing about our arenas that also is, excuse me,
Normie.
we're trying to film a video here.
I can't believe I get everyone else is chill, and he's like, I need to be a part of this. We don't even have food.
He just wants to be the star of the show.
We don't have food.
If my horse Joey was there, he would
be doing this?
He would be doing the same thing.
You guys need to be friends.
Gets jealous if he's not the
I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh yeah, so sorry, the thing I was saying is in the UK also our arenas are made of like a slightly different like texture. So sometimes like my one at home is actually made of rubber. and it's made of like old car tires that are all chopped up, and that's like, we have that on top of the sand.
Yeah.
And I think it's maybe because where we're from, like we can get a lot of frosts where it can get quite cold. So the rubber helps it not be as like frozen. And it's also like nice and bouncy as well. Because I remember when I first started, I got a lot of comments of people asking me like, why is your arena asking like, why is your arena like black? Because obviously we're used to like sand arenas. So that's something a little bit different.
I like that because you're using like recycled materials.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Also, one thing that I'm so jealous of in the US is the indoor arenas.
Dude, come. Yeah. I think that's why they're very upset.
He's like, it's dinner time. I need my hay.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, indoor arenas. Obviously, we were earlier talking about the one at WEC, which is air conditioned, which is
so weird.
Wild. I also found it really strange because loads of people were going around riding in jumpers or sweaters, and I was like, how? It's Florida, I am sweating, it's boiling.
And then you walked in and the air conditioning was like,
hit you.
And you're like, oh.
It's a little bit chilly. But yeah, you'd think for England, where it rains so much, they would have more indoors. But I think it's due to like planning permission and things. Like,
really?
If you want to like build a barn or build a stables or even build an arena, you have to like apply to your local like planning officer, and they have to accept it, and a lot of the times it can be quite tricky to get like permission through.
Yeah, I mean, I know here, like obviously it's a horse place, but I know that you have to go through a lot, you know, and like the house has to be like an equivalent size, like similar size ratio to the barn, and like depending on how many stables you have, like, or stalls, like that depends on the size of the house. It's like this whole thing. And then you also, because you know this house used to be underwater, so you also have to have like a place for the canal and like where the water sits. So a big part of your property is actually like you can't even use it because that's where the water will go if it rains a lot.
I didn't even think
is wild.
About that. That's cool. Because when I've been like driving around here, there are lots of like pretty canals.
Have you seen an alligator yet?
I think my dad spotted one on the way here, but I didn't see it. So
no, there are some that are really big.
See, that's one thing we don't have to worry about in England.
Yeah, thank God. I mean,
we have like no dangerous animals. All of our animals are pathetic. So
it's too cold.
Yeah.
Like too cold, rainy. It's too grey.
Even the birds in the winter, they're like, I'm going off to Africa. Goodbye. It's too cold for me.
Your mom loses all her birds?
She does lose all her birds.
That's really sad.
But there are some. There are still some.
Okay, what we were saying.
I get back to where we go. Long shows.
Okay.
Because
like circuit shows.
Yeah, like circuit shows. Because like at WEC that I was at earlier, that they have shows where people will take their horses for like weeks, and I feel like that's like a little bit more normal in the US, like going to a show for like over a week or even 2 weeks, even a month. When here in the UK we do have some stay away shows, but normally people go away for like a weekend and stable their horses there. But I saw on TikTok there was this one girl saying like, yeah, we'll just go to a show for a month, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, so okay, it's really interesting. So here we have a lot of circuits, but the reason is because Yusuf has regulations on like the distance between two shows, and like the shows own dates, like they own the dates. So what happens is that you don't want to build a show that's like too close to the other show, because then you can't have two shows going on at the same time. And then there are all these rules, like I don't know them exactly, but that's why it creates like these circuit shows that like go on forever. I was literally just talking about this at lunch, because in Europe it's like 4 days, 5 days maximum, you know, and you go from one place to the next, and the shows could be right next to each other. You could have many shows that you're competing at the same area, but here it's like that's non-existent. Yeah. And I think also part of it is like people, at least with Wellington, Ocala now too, they're like built like their second or first base, so they want a place that they can stay, and there's only one facility because no other facility is able to be, you know, built near. So then that facility ends up taking like the whole winter circuit, which is what's happening here, what's happening in Ocala. At least there you have like HITS that they do that too. I don't know if you went to HITS, but that's another facility that's there in Ocala. I mean, there was one show at Live Oak, but that's the reason why there's a mileage rule. Yeah.
Because also in the UK, I feel like wherever you are, you can get to most places within like a few hours, because it is so small, especially when you compare it to America. Like the UK is, Texas is 4 times bigger than the whole of the UK. Wow. That's how small we are. Like we're just like a little island. So yeah, that is
you're like
kind of
far from everything. So I mean from every other country. So you either like stay there or you like leave. and then you have to drive on the wrong side of the road and all these
to be fair,
weird
Europe's
things.
not that far away, but
So you guys drive on the other side,
we do.
but you still do left to left for horses.
yes. Oh, that was one question actually. When I rode at WEC the other day, I went into the warm up and I was like, because you guys drive on the other side, do we still do left to left or right to, I was like very confused. I was like, I need to, although I haven't competed in a little while, so it might be right to right, and I've just completely blanked it. So
you just like stood
there'll
there.
be some British people in the comments being like, how does this go? But I haven't competed in like quite a while in show jumping, so.
I could see you like stood there and be like, okay, someone needs to pass me so I know when to pass them.
As soon as I walked in, I had to ask someone because I was like, I cannot embarrass myself and crash into someone else.
Yeah, but isn't that weird? It's like left to left, but you guys drive on the other side.
Yeah, we're making this way more complicated than it should be. Okay, the next thing that's really surprised me is leasing out here in the US, because over here we do have like leasing or loaning, and there are some people that do like sharing horses as well. So like two different people lease the same horse. So
that
like,
doesn't happen here.
really?
Not in Wellington, no. And I've never heard of this.
Because my friend does that. So she leases a horse like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the other person leases the horse like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What if like you have the horse perfect in like perfect flat work, and then comes this person and ruins all your work from the beginning?
That is
of
the problem that she is having a little bit.
It's just like you put in so much work, and then by the time it's like you've done all the work and they're fine, then the other person comes out and does their own.
Yeah.
That must be so confusing for the horses.
To be fair, that's
too.
not that common in the UK. So I'd say in the UK, if you want to compete above a certain level or improve your riding to a certain level, a lot of the time you like have to own the horse, unless you're like a pro rider who has an owner and that kind of thing. But one thing that I found really surprising is that a lot of people, there's kind of like a barn culture in America where people like, that's their barn, like that's their trainer. They ride like their trainer's horses as
called
well.
the program.
Program.
That's what it's called. I learned that too, because that was not a thing that we do in Chile.
Yeah.
In Chile it's very different because you have like different clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and like at the club let's say that I was in was La Católica. So there's this club, and you rent how many stalls you have in that club, and usually you just share a groom. So it was like one groom for like 8 horses, and I mean you could have your private groom, but very few people did that.
Yeah.
And then there was like the trainers from the club, and you rode with those trainers, and they had a lot more clients, and it was, you know, they were paid by the club. And then there were private trainers, but that rarely happened, but they still had to have the permission of the club to be able to train in the club. Very few private farms. I can count them with like one hand.
Yeah.
Versus here, it's like you're in a person's program. So you don't just pay for classes, you pay for like boarding, training, like it's like a whole package.
Yeah.
So that's why you have like your own barn, and everybody has like, you know, like you're saying, like little, I don't know.
When in the UK, like I feel like a lot of people, their trainer isn't necessarily like at their barn. They might go like to a different equestrian centre and have like a clinic with a different rider or a trainer or that kind of thing. Like, out here, like. But also, one thing that surprised me when I was at WEC was that they were saying how you could like lease a horse for a weekend and go and compete there, or like a lot of people lease horses that are like very nice horses, like you can compete on like a high level and lease them, which in the UK I just feel like we don't really have that. So
yeah, I mean that's a nice option here. Like, you know, a lot of times that happens with like older horses, you know, that can get leased out because they get leased, so then the person wants to pay a little bit more money, but then they don't have to retire that horse, you know, or like a horse that has bad x-rays, so it's a little bit of a higher risk because it has, you know, bad x-rays, so you don't want to like necessarily purchase the horse, but you lease it, and there's a lot of like lease to buys, so that usually is in the contract. So like for example, my client, she leased Norman for the season, you know, because she lives in Brazil, so she came in, leased a horse for the season, then left, and, you know, but she also had the option to buy. And yeah, that happens at all levels, like from children's to like 5-star jumpers. You can, I mean, always offer, but yeah, people will lease out their horses. I have one horse out on a lease now, and I mean, it's also a really good business because if you own a horse that's, you know, good, for example, for children, and children, when they're growing, like they move categories pretty like quicker than usual. So like maybe they'll have the horse for like 1 year and then they'll need something a little more. So if you have, and it also happens that people send their horses to like one barn and that horse gets leased out with different clients when they are at that level. You know, so there's like a lot more flexibility in what you can do without like the complete risk, and especially if you're working with different budgets for a horse. Yeah,
that's really cool. Because also one thing I've noticed in the UK, we have a lot more like private stables or barns, or a lot of people keep their horses like on their own farms, which I think out here is a little bit more rare. Maybe it's a bit different in like the Western world. People might like have their own ranches and that kind of stuff. But definitely in like the show jumping world around here, Florida, I feel like a lot of people keep their horse at a barn rather than their own property. Although saying that, when we were driving around here, there were a lot of very nice horse properties that we saw.
I mean, these are insane. Like between Palm Beach Point and Grand Prix Village, like the farms are, they're really, really nice. I think there's a mix here. Like people have their own, and then their trainers come in, and then you have barns that are leased out. Like here I'm on a lease, like I just rent the stalls and the space. And then Chris Kapler has like his clients and his stalls on the other side, and then the owner of the farm has some of the stalls, and we just kind of coexist. I mean, we all ride with the same trainer, so it works really well. But yeah, you have a mix of everything.
I tried equitation and hunters the other day.
Oh, how was that?
It felt so wrong to me.
I've never ridden a equitation or a hunter horse. That doesn't exist in Chile.
It's so weird. It's so different. It doesn't exist in England really either. We have.
I think it's just here.
We have like showing classes where you can do one like showing with jumps, which I guess is the most similar to hunters. But I would say, obviously, that world I don't know much about. So again, if you're a UK showing person, don't come at me. Please be nice in the comments and tell me the differences, because
come at me. I live here for 10 years and I don't know how to hunters or equitations. Leave it to me. Okay? This is way worse.
I did like a little bit of showing back in the day when I was like 7 or 8, so a long time ago. But like our showing outfits and the equitation showing outfits are very different. So I'd say equitation and hunters over here, it's like navy show jacket, beige breeches,
and the number back here. The back number.
Yeah, we have that.
You put it on the back?
Yeah, for showing.
Always? No.
Well, definitely when I was a kid. Maybe at higher levels you have like the bridle number. Yeah. Definitely for dressage you have the bridle number.
For a second I thought you put it like in your face. I was like, wait, we don't have
can you imagine on like your helmet?
Like, we don't have that.
Here's my number.
No, I thought it was something different.
Yes.
Here they use so many like tan breeches.
Yes.
Like in Chile you use white for competition.
Really?
In South America, white for competition.
So I'd say show jumping and dressage, like white. Eventing you see a bit more beige, and then showing you see beige. But there are some people for showing wear like canary yellow breeches, so they're like banana yellow, like bright yellow. And then can you imagine with a jacket that's tweed, like a green tweed jacket, and then like a red tie.
We could stop.
And then a velvet helmet with a little bow at the back. Not your style.
What just happened to my brain?
So that's what I wore when I was like 7 or 8 doing showing.
I need insert photo of Esme with this outfit, please. Please.
Although I think my jacket was a brown tweed one, so it wasn't as bad. And my breeches weren't bright yellow, they were beige.
Just pale yellow.
Like a pale yellow, yeah.
Yeah, but here it's like, so there's a rule that I didn't know when I came. So yeah, you wear tan on the days that are not the classic.
Okay.
So for example, if you have the medium juniors or whatever, then you do like the other days you don't use, but for the classic you use it. And if it's a class more than $10,000, you're required to wear formal attire, which is the white. If it's under, then you can wear tan.
Oh, I did not know that.
But yeah, I mean, people come from South America and they wear white every day and they look like weirdos because they're the only ones wearing white.
Yeah.
But that's what's normal over there, and here.
Well, they've actually, in the UK, I can't remember which discipline it is, I think it might be dressage, they've recently introduced it so you can wear like black breeches now when you compete if you want to.
But I thought for dressage they had to use like white gloves and white pants. I have no idea, I'm not a dressage rider. But because then you can see more like their legs and how they use their hands.
Okay, so here are some British slang words, so I'm really testing you here, that I feel like Americans might not get, Australians might not get, you never know. So these are, some interesting words, and I want to see if you can guess them.
I haven't even been to the UK.
Okay, also, if you don't know what they are, I would love to hear what you think
what I
it
think
actually
they are.
means, because some of them are quite funny. Okay. Chuffed.
Chuffed.
Chuffed. I love how you said it in almost like a British accent.
Really?
So
Chuffed.
cute. Chuffed.
Chuffed. Does it have anything to do with horses, or it's just like normal?
No,
thing?
nothing to do with horses, just
Chuffed.
random.
I have
Do you
no
need to use it in a
idea.
sentence?
Okay.
Okay. The other day I did something and I was really chuffed.
Tired?
No.
Chuffed? Like you were really good at it?
Yeah. So
Wait, for real?
Yeah. So if you're like chuffed, it means like, oh, I'm so chuffed with that. Like if you did a really good show jumping around and you're like so happy, you'll be like, oh, I'm chuffed with that.
That sounds like something negative, like
It
chuffed.
does.
Like you're like, I don't know. I thought like chapped first. I was like, oh, your lips are chapped or
Yeah.
something, but no. Okay.
Okay. Next up we have knackered.
Knackered.
Yeah.
Like, what would it be like? I'm knackered?
Yeah.
Would that be tired?
Yes, that is tired. Woo, you got
One.
one. Okay, this one I feel like is a little bit easier.
Okay.
Bloke.
Bloke. I've definitely heard this before. Does that mean when someone's stupid? No?
I would say yes, but no. That's not what it is, no.
Like, is
If
it
someone is a bloke.
arrogant?
Also, yes, but not the actual answer. If someone's a guy. Like, you know,
Yes. Synonyms. Stupid, arrogant, useless. We can keep going.
yeah, sorry, blokes out there. But yeah, it'd be like, oh, that guy's a bloke. A bit of a bloke,
I
yeah.
love that. Okay.
Okay, next up, dodgy.
Dodgy, but that we have. But I
You
don't
have
know if it's the
dodgy?
same thing. Like when it's like a sketchy.
Yeah,
Like something
yeah,
sketchy.
sketchy.
Yeah, we have that.
Okay, this one's like proper UK, like city slang kind of
Okay.
thing, okay? Peak.
Peak,
Yeah.
like
I
the
said,
top of
oh,
a mountain.
Oh, that's peak.
Like the top of a mountain peak. Like cool? Like that's cool?
No, like if something's peak, it's like something's really bad, like, oh, that's peak.
That makes no sense.
I know, that's what I always think, because peak sounds like the top.
The
but
top,
maybe
like
it's
awesome.
The
Like
top worst.
you just like making things more confusing, and
I
my
do.
brain is like, ugh.
There's been a lot. That's all I have so far. I'll have to think of some more for the next one. But
Yeah, there we go,
there's some
guys. I
interesting
tried. I
ones.
think I got
You
2.
did pretty well. No, I'd say that's pretty good. So
Yeah,
well done.
thank you.
If you guys think of anything, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
And if we think of anything, maybe we'll have to come and film this video again
Yeah.
another time.
Part
But,
2
yeah,
of
part
the
2.
differences.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, anyway, thank you so much, Gaby,
Yeah,
for
of
very
course.
kindly having me here. I'll leave your socials up on screen if you guys want to go and follow her. She does some really awesome horsey content, and yeah, look out for her out competing as well. But
Thank
anyway,
you,
thank you so
Esme.
much, everybody, for watching today's video.
Thanks, guys.
If you're new or have not done so already, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Your dad's like, do the wave. Wait, can we do a clap again?
Yeah, we can do the clap again. It's to sync up the audio at the
I
beginning.
know. I know. I'm not
wanted to
that much
clap.
of an idiot, but I just thought it was cool when you did it. I was like, okay, I want to do it.
Awesome.
I think that was good.
That was cool.